So one thing that's for sure, people, no matter of age, gender, nationality, culture, there's one thing that we almost always have in common, right? And that is everybody loves to eat. We all love food. So on that basis, this should make The Taste of Things a fantastic movie for everyone, right? I know this isn't exactly a short, but do you know what? I went to see this film, The Taste of Things, at an independent cinema at the weekend. And I figure it's probably flown under the radar for a lot of people. It hasn't got the press or much of the backing that big films like Dune have had of late. And I thought, do you know what? A short video just isn't going to do it enough justice, really. So I thought I'd make a slightly longer video talking about this film, The Taste of Things. So my language skills probably aren't as good as I would like them to be. So do forgive me for any mispronunciations here. But this film was released last year at the Cannes Film Festival and was nominated for a Best Director award at the Palme d'Or. That was won by the director from Vietnam, who is An Hung Tran. Again, apologies if I've got that wrong. Not familiar with any of his other films. But in this film, set in 19th century France, he tells the story of a cook named Eugenie and a gourmet chef visionary by the name of Dodin. And he explores their relationship as people, as lovers. I think their relationships with food and a shared passion for creating great dishes, basically. So the cook, Eugenie, is played by Juliette Binoche. Again, not sure I've pronounced that right. And she works alongside Dodin, who is played by Benoit Magimel. I'm not familiar with any of his work before, but the two of these, they fit together perfectly. Very, very believable, very, very likable. And it's nice to see their shared passion at something that they both excel in, really. It isn't a story just about food, it's also a story about love, and it explores their relationship together. Unmarried, but they've been together for a long time with a very powerful and important love affair that's contained in this film, with perhaps a slightly semi-tragic ending. Now, this was the French entry for the Oscars this year, and I think as the best international film. I'm not sure if it went forward to be shortlisted, but it's definitely that kind of film that has that Oscar feel to it, like a very powerful, moving drama. And I think for me, one of the interesting things about this film was something that I didn't quite pick up on at the very beginning. I think in the first opening scene of the movie, you see them working together in a kitchen to prepare a very extravagant and expansive dish or set of dishes that they'll be serving to friends. And I think it's probably a 15-minute sequence where there's very little in the way of dialogue, but you see them chopping, preparing, cooking, and just basically doing all the things in a kitchen that one needs to do to prepare a meal. Now that doesn't sound super exciting to lots of people, but when I really dialed into it, there's a real AMSR kind of vibe going on in this film. At one stage, Dodin is opening oysters. Now that's something I've never done myself, but I can see that it would take some level of concentration and perhaps some level of strength to pry open the shells. And when he's doing that, there's a very keen sense of sound in that you can hear his breathing, and the concentration within that breath, and just the sound of things that are very mundane, the clattering of knives, the running of water, the heating of oil. It's like they've turned up the volume on all of these things to 10. So not only is it quite a visual experience, it's also a very sensory experience. which I think made it a very, very interesting film to watch. And if you allow yourself to become immersed in it in the way that you can do in the cinema, I think it's a very, very rewarding film to watch as well. It's very simple. It's subtitled. Obviously, that isn't going to be for everyone. And I think the runtime is something over 2 hours. But I really, really enjoyed this. I've seen lots of blockbuster movies lately, but this one, it's right up there. So if you do get a chance, The Taste of Things, I would say it's something that you should definitely try and watch. Try and see it at the cinema if you can, but it's certainly worth streaming at home. But do make sure you put your phone to one side, turn the lights down, turn the phone off, and maybe just really concentrate on enjoying this film. I really, really liked it, and it was a very, very strong 4 stars from me.